audience, why gold and silver? Why is it so important for our economy?
It's a good question, and it's interesting too that you spending so many years in the financial services industry and the banking industry in the one of the best institutions in the world, yet the understanding of gold and silver is a foreign concept. And I've spoken to economists that have been in studying their degree for in some cases many years, and then spend decades as an economist. And at that point, they still don't understand gold and silver. But you see, we've had gold and silver working with us as money for close to 6,000 years now. We've got recorded history that goes back close to 6,000 years that has demonstrated that that the use of gold and silver has always operated as money. And it's also provided protection against financial crises. And we're seeing today in today's world that there's a lot of instability within the financial market. We don't need to talk about that now because it's on the news every time someone turns on the TV. But certainly what we are seeing is that the return to gold and silver as a way of providing stability and financial protection in today's world, as it always has done. So I think one reason that gold and silver has worked so well is because we've got such a long history of using it. The second thing, it's true wealth. Because it's interesting, a lot of people don't understand what wealth is, but wealth is the result of our labour being applied to the natural resources around us, the world or the planet that we're living on. So again, wealth is the result of our labour being applied to the natural resources from which we produce essential commodities which are essential to the sustaining of our human lives on planet Earth. So that's what a true commodity is, and that's what wealth is. Now, gold reflects that perfectly because it's very labour intensive to find it. It's very rare, it's very precious on the crust of the Earth. It's very difficult to find it, and then once you've found it, it's very labour consuming to be able to dig it and to refine it and all the other processes from which we extract gold from the Earth itself. So in that respect, it really represents a large amount of labour. There's very little of it as well. There's very little silver and very little gold. In fact, there's only about an ounce per person on planet Earth today that's ever been mined in the entire history of the world. So in other words, I think 2 or 3 of those would be 1 ounce of gold. That would be my amount of gold on planet Earth today, because I'm saying there's less than 1 ounce per person. And it's true also of silver, where there's about 6 or 8 ounces per person only. So there's very little of it. It's recognised anywhere. This piece of gold here, I can take into a market in the back blocks of Asia, or I could take it into the London market, or I can take it anywhere, and I can convert it for money that day, for what we call money today, being paper notes, which is really actually paper. And on any given day, I can convert this into something of value. I can buy food with it. I can do anything with that gold because it's instantly liquidable, because it's universally recognisable. And the final point why it's always worked very well as money is because it has such a high amount of value in such a small transportable piece, meaning that I can take a high amount of money and I can pop it in my pocket and walk around like that. Now this piece of gold here is probably about, I think, $400 or $500 worth of pure gold. Now if I had $500 of these in $20 notes, that'd be a stack of money in my pockets like that. So gold is very easy to transport a high amount of wealth. So those are the 3 or 4 reasons that we believe gold has always worked as money. In fact, in every major culture, every major civilization, every major empire in the entire history of the world, it's always been money.